ministers. And I successfully survived. After that, I was able to get a position as a youth pastor in the church of Ananiana called Faith Covenant Church of God. I have been saved, sanctified, baptized in the Holy Ghost for 14 years. This May will be 14 years that God has gloriously saved my life. He gave me the call to preach about 1993. But it wasn't until I got into youth pastor work, and Brother Eddie can amen me and Sister Adrian as well, that I encountered some of the most spiritual warfare of my life. And back in 1998, I got the call to go up there and to be a minister of youth there. While I was up there, I had some incredible things that occurred within my life. I was married at the time. God was doing mighty things with my life and with the situations around me. About, I would say, 6 months into it, our minister of music committed suicide within our church. It was a very devastating time for our church. It was a very devastating time for me. I never went through anything like this before in my life. This was one of my best friends. I just couldn't understand what had happened. A few months later, I had some issues myself that led me out of the ministry. And I had some pitfalls. And while I had these pitfalls, I can always remember Ephesians 6 and 12, and it says, "We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers, and against the rulers of the darkness of this present world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places." And so while I was receiving this pitfall, those principalities, and those powers, and those rulers of the darkness of the present world, and those spiritual wickedness in high places began to come in gradually. You see, it was inconspicuous at the time, but I knew that there was something different. Because I knew that I wasn't acting right, things wasn't going right, and I couldn't understand for the life of me what was going on. But you see, when the enemy comes in, he comes in for one reason and one reason alone, and that's to kill, to steal, and to destroy. You see, as they continue to come around me and come against me, they had strategic things laid out ahead of them in order to get to me. And that first thing was to sweep me from off of my feet. And so they got a hold of my feet, and they chained me up. Took the balance away from me, because that's what feet really represent to us, is our balance. But see, they went through there, you see. Because when they come in to do a job right. And so the next thing they got hold of my hands. My offense and my defense. And I just didn't know what to do because my balance was gone, and I couldn't be like a boxer and keep my hands up. And they had come against me like a flood. But they wasn't through yet, you see. Because after that, they went for the breath that was in me. And that's the Holy Spirit. And when they went for that, I become bound up. I become bound up. I didn't know what I could do. I lost my phrase, and I didn't know what to do. And then they drove me to my knees. They drove me to my knees, but you know what? I'm reminded of a song that an old group sang up in the early 90s, and the lyrics goes like this. It says that he's so blind that he couldn't see, that all the while that is where I needed to be, because down on my knees is up, and that's higher than he can be. Even though they drove me to my knees, that's exactly where I needed to be. And so I began to start praying, and I began to start seeking my breakthrough. But it wasn't just me that I needed help with. I needed other people around me to help me. And so whenever I started praying, and I started remembering certain people that I knew would be able to help me, because I lost the spirit that had dwelt within me. I lost my offense, my defense, and I lost my feet. But I knew I could rely on particular people. And the first people that I knew I could rely on was my parents. You see, my mom and dad, they come up, and they got around me, And they circled me and they helped me. They get me up off my feet. Got me off my feet. They took the chains off. Because I got my balance back, you see. See, now I'm a little bit ready, a little bit more poised to withstand the enemy here. But then when I'm in church and I've been bound up, and I'm sure all y'all seen me bound up, because I come in and I had that frown on my face and that spirit of Python all over me. But I had some friends that was here that are very dear to me, Charlie Church and David Nix. They began to encourage me. They began to become my accountability partners. And David and Charlie come up, and they got a hold of my hands, you see. And they got me free from my hands, to where my offense and my defense were able, Lord, to withstand that enemy that was coming against me. So David and Charlie threw away the chains, allowed the offense and the defense to be able to have my balance back. But see, that's good and all. There was one thing left, and that's this neck problem that I got. See, in Acts chapter 16, Paul and Silas encountered this spirit of divination. And in the Greek, divination means python, or pytho, which comes from the word python. And the snake that comes against us the worst is a python, because he doesn't poison you, but he restricts and constricts your breath. And breath in the Bible represents the Holy Spirit's power enabling inside of us. So who did I go to last to help me with this? I went to the only one that I knew that could get me free from this, and that's Pastor Hand, and the God in Pastor Hand. Pastor Hand come and unchain my neck. And by allowing me tonight to be able to come and to preach and to share this message tonight has allowed me to get completely free. Pastor gives me the change because the pastor can't do it for you. That's right. That's right. Mom and Dad can't do it for me. Charlie and Debbie can't do it for me. I have to do it for myself. So these guys that have been up here, these demons that have been up here, you see, I knew then I had to go to my word. I had to go back to my call. I had to go back to my reason, because see, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And every tongue that rises up against me in judgment, he will condemn. Because greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Because he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And he's the way and the truth and the life. And one day, and y'all know what I'm talking about, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that he is Lord. And you know what I'm talking about. And you know what's going to happen. His name is Jesus! Who breaks open will come up before them. They will break out, pass through the gate, and go out right. Their king will pass before them with their head, with the Lord at their head. See, we have a spirit of a breaker here tonight. That breaker and that deliverer is Jesus Christ. You see, I was bound for a long time, but I knew where I needed to come back to, and that's this church right here, because it's a healing church. Because I've got parents that love me, I've got friends that love me, I've got a pastor that loves me. It makes all the difference in the world. And tonight in this altar call, somebody's going to get breakthrough. Praise God. Praise God. On the anointing, the pastor spoke about the blood of Jesus applying to your life. But see, tonight, we're going to talk about breakthrough tonight. And we're going to talk about people getting set free. I'm going to go ahead and show up.